Yeah man, Sports to the Bone here again, you know. Shout out to all the viewers and subscribers. So a couple of things, guys. First, we're going to take a look at the T20 game that was played between West Indies and New Zealand this morning. That was the first T20 match. We also want to take a look at the first ODI game that was played between Australia and India. We're going to take a look at how that game went. On a losing note. I mean, it wasn't actually a bad performance by the guys. The game was actually interrupted by rain, and you know the match was eventually decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method. It was the Caribbean guys that batted first, making a competitive total of 179 for 7 off their allotted 16 overs. It was actually Pollard that led the way with an explosive 75 off 37 balls, and that included 8 sixes and 4 fours. Fabian Allen also chipped in with a well-played 30 off 26 balls. Opener Andre Fletcher earlier actually paved the way with a nice 34 off 14 balls. So very good there. We see Andre Fletcher making his way back into the 2020 team and actually getting a start. Hopefully in the next game he will be able to push on, but that was actually a good start by Andre Fletcher. So yeah man, big up to Fletcher. Now 2 of the big guns, Hetmeyer and Pooran, actually fell for 0 and 1 respectively. So you know they weren't amongst the runs in this match. Lucky Ferguson was the chief destroyer for New Zealand, taking 5 for 21 off his 4 overs. Tim Southee also chipped in with 2 for 22, given 176 as a target to get from 16 overs. The Kiwis neatly went to work. It was actually Neesham and Conway that led the Kiwis batting, getting, I think it was 48 and 41 respectively, as they went in search for victory. Strong support also came from Santner, who chipped in with a well-played 31 off 18 balls. So given a total of 176 to win, the Kiwis actually finished at 179 for 5 with a couple of balls to spare. You know, so only losing 5 wickets to take down the target. Albeit the game was interrupted by rain, cut down to 16 overs. But nevertheless, congratulations to New Zealand. Hopefully in the second game the Windies will be able to bounce back, turn around, and you know they will have good weather, so they will be able to play the full 20 overs. But having said all of that, New Zealand won the match, you know, so shout out to them. Windies will look to come stronger in the next game. It was actually Lucky Ferguson that took the man of the match for his 5-wicket haul in that game there. So let us shift gear to take a look at the Australia versus India game, because we have some very interesting news coming out of that game. The unorthodox but world-class batsman Steve Smith was actually at his very best in that game today. So we could take a look at how it actually went down now. Yeah man, so Captain Finch was also in very good form. Batting first, Australia actually made a total of 374 for 6 of their allotted 50 overs. It was Finch that top scored with a total of 114 off 124 balls. Even though Finch was in very good form, it wasn't Finch's innings that actually caught the eyes. It was that of the unorthodox Steve Smith, who actually made 105 off 66 balls. So you can imagine, I didn't see the game, but you can just imagine Steve Smith was stroking the ball to all different parts of the ground, because I think that is one of the fastest centuries in ODI cricket, coming there from Steve Smith, who is oftentimes classified as a test match specialist. You know, so that was very good to know that Steve Smith is actually amongst the runs. Yeah man, so big up to Steve Smith there. David Warner also chipped in with 69 off 76. So a couple of the top order there getting some very good runs. Finch getting a century, Smith getting a century, and Warner getting a half century. So the top order they're chipping in to make sure that Australia actually put up a good total. It was Mohammad Shami that was the pick of the bowler for India, getting 3 for 59. However, Bumrah, who is oftentimes very effective, was put to the sword as he only picked up 1 wicket out of his allotted 10 overs. I think he went for something like 1 for 73. So Bumrah wasn't effective at all in that game. In return for India, Hardik Pandya actually played well, getting 90 of 76 to lead the charge, you know, as they went in search of that total that Australia put up. Shikan Dhawan made 74 of 86 balls to try and overhaul that total that was set by Australia, but it wasn't enough because they crumbled to a total of 308 for 8 of their 50 overs, meaning that Australia took the first of 3 ODI games by 66 runs. So there you have it, guys. Australia drawing first blood in that game, and New Zealand drawing first blood in the 2020 against West Indies. Quick before I go though, guys, Adam Zampa was the chief destroyer for Australia. I think he picked up 4 wickets. So that's basically it for this video. Sports to the bone, keeping you informed. Please remember to like, share, leave us a comment. If you have not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm out.